Resorting to Danger had a fake romance book called Mid-Break at Waverly. The characters in this game certainly do have romance drama. There's a big love triangle between Izzy, Leela, and Jacob. All the other characters sort of hate each other, so there's no love lost there. Let's start with the love triangle. Izzy Romero. The queen bee of the school hates everyone, no question. She insults Mel, Karine, and Rachel right off the bat, and she must have a history with Megan because Megan says she's the meanest, nastiest person she's ever met. Izzy seems to like Leela. Izzy says she lucked out because Leela's a decent roommate who's pretty popular, but then Izzy steals Leela's boyfriend without a second thought. Izzy doesn't think it's a big deal she said yes when he asked her out. She acts like she doesn't care too much about Jacob, but she has his photo on her desk with pink hearts around his name. So either she does care a lot about him, or she's just doing that to make Leela mad. I'm guessing it's the latter. Jacob tries to frame Mel for plagiarism. It makes more sense to me if Izzy is behind that. Like, she purposely started dating the guy in order to get Mel kicked out of school. That seems like something Izzy would do. Leela doesn't like Mel either, but convincing her boyfriend to frame Mel doesn't seem like her style. To summarize, Izzy hates everyone, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't actually like the guy she dates. I'm gonna pair Izzy with Paige Griffin, the angry RA. Paige and Izzy are both so angry and mean, they'd probably get along great. I pick Izzy with Paige Griffin. Leela Yadav. She likes her boyfriend Jacob enough that she's heartbroken when he leaves her, but she's quick to say he's stupid and easily manipulated just like every other guy in the world. It's clear she has no interest in getting him back, so he's not an option. Like Izzy, Leela hates everyone, so it's hard to match her up with anyone. She and Mel were friends when they were kids, but not anymore. Leela calls Mel a freak. She thinks Rachel's so strange it's kind of scary. She doesn't have anything mean to say about Karine, but that's only because she doesn't talk about Karine. Leela's best friend is Izzy, before the boyfriend drama ruined their friendship. Her only other friend seems to be Megan. She has a photo of Megan in her bedroom. I don't think it was ever explained why Leela and Megan are close enough to be photo buddies, but that does make Megan the person she likes most. So I pick Leela Yadav with Megan Vargas. I could also see Leela with a sports-centered character from one of the other games, like Hulk, the football player. Mel Corbelis. Call me a sucker for an obvious pairing, but I like Mel the goth girl with Henry the emo guy from Legend of the Crystal Skull. They can be dark and angry at the world together. She can break through his tough exterior. He can break through her tough exterior. I think they would be great together. Rachel Hubbard. Nobody likes Rachel because she's weird. I think that's partly because Rachel is purposely distancing herself from other people. It's also because Rachel and Kim are doing a terrible job of pretending to be the same person. One of them hates Mel while the other likes her. We don't see enough of the twins to get a good sense of their differences. Personality-wise, Rachel is most like Karine. They're both overworked and unpopular. You'd think they would be friends, but it's the opposite. Karine specifically targets Rachel for blackmail purposes. I guess Rachel kinda likes Izzy, according to the picture that's on screen now, but she'd definitely rather live alone. It's easier to hide her twin that way. I kind of want to say the Hardy Boys should date Rachel because there are two of them and two twins, but really, I have no idea. Rachel clearly isn't going to date anyone while Kim is around. It's too much of a risk for her to date someone, no matter how much Rachel likes them. A boyfriend or girlfriend would be almost certain to realize Rachel is two people, and Rachel can't risk that. So I'd say Rachel with no one, because she's hiding her twin sister. After the game, when everyone knows about Kim, it's still hard for me to picture Rachel dating anyone. Love doesn't seem to be anywhere on her radar. Karine Myers. Nobody likes Karine. She has no dating options, period. It's fairly clear that Izzy is the person she likes most. Karine went through all the trouble of making a photograph of her and Izzy hanging out together. Izzy's angry rejection is probably why Karine got so upset she deleted Izzy's term paper. I have to imagine if Izzy had reacted differently to the photo, Karine wouldn't have been so hurt and wanted revenge. It's possible Karine cares so much about getting Izzy's approval just because Izzy's the most popular girl in school, not because Karine's particularly interested in Izzy. That is, she sees Izzy's friendship as more of a status symbol than anything else. Either way, Izzy is clearly the girl Karine is most interested in, whether it's as a girlfriend or as a ticket to popularity. I think Karine would rather date Izzy than anyone else at Waverly. She might want to date a famous movie star like Brady Armstrong, too. She'd probably like that. That would make her super popular. Megan Vargas doesn't like Mel or Izzy. I don't think she mentions Karine or Rachel. I don't remember if she mentions Leela, outside of saying Leela's got a picture of her. Clearly, she knows about the photo and she doesn't think it's weird. Megan really wants to go back to Waverly. It could be that Leela is one of the major reasons she wants to go back. I pick Megan with Leela. Paige Griffin. Paige never has a normal interaction with Nancy. Either she's yelling at Nancy to leave her alone, or she's yelling at Nancy for breaking school rules. The nicest she gets is when she sends Nancy a text message saying she got a credit. Those feel like automated messages to me, and not like messages Paige actually wrote. Since Paige is constantly angry and hates everyone, I pick Paige Griffin with Izzy Romero. Like I said earlier, they both don't like anyone, so I'm matching them together based on personality. Nancy Drew. Poor Nancy, she doesn't get a lot of good romantic options, does she? I suppose that's because pretty much everyone she meets is a suspect who she has to keep at arm's length. Mel and Rachel are the two people that Nancy gets along best with in this game. Nancy wants to be Rachel's friend. She agrees to help Rachel multiple times, and she keeps Rachel's secret. Nancy is also Mel's friend. She helps when Mel is accused of plagiarism, and she keeps Mel's secret about the Blackwood Society. Really, it's a toss-up between the two of them for me. I don't think Nancy prefers Rachel over Mel or Mel over Rachel, but dating Mel would be a lot easier because she's not two people pretending to be one person. I've read too many bad romance books where the characters do a twin swap during a date, so I pick Nancy Drew with Mel Corbliss. Once again, here are my choices. Izzy Romero with Paige Griffin, Leela Yadav with Megan Vargas, Mel Corbliss with Henry Bollet, Rachel Hubbard with no one, Karine Myers with Izzy Romero, Megan Vargas with Leela Yadav, Paige Griffin with Izzy Romero, and Nancy Drew with Mel Corbliss. Let's see what the internet says. Izzy Romero with none and Leela. Leela wins by a landslide. Leela Yadav with none and Izzy. Mel Corbliss with Rachel and Nancy. Rachel Hubbard with Mel and none. Karine Myers with Rachel and none. Megan Vargas with Mel and none. Paige Griffin with Izzy and none. Nancy Drew with Mel and none. So none won with every single character except Mel. That's kind of interesting. The only three pairings that got more than 50% of the vote were Nancy with Mel and Leela and Izzy with each other. So Leela and Izzy are the most popular pairing of the game, in spite of the fact that they have love triangle drama where they both fight over the same guy.